Hey, well, good morning. So I was supposed to be on a field trip today, but that got canceled. Roads are very slick. So I'm back at home, and why not read another chapter of the book? So again, Overcoming Tough Times. It's a book my mom gave me when I was going through my divorce. And this chapter I just started on is chapter 3, called No Problems Are Too Big for God. And the Bible verse is Genesis 18:14. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? Here's a riddle. What is it that is too important to pray about, yet too big for God to handle? The answer, of course, is nothing. Yet sometimes when the challenges of the day seem overwhelming, we may spend more time worrying about our troubles than praying about them. And we may spend more time fretting about our problems than solving them. A far better strategy, of course, is to pray for everything dependent entirely upon God and to work as if everything depended entirely on us. Life is an exercise in problem solving. The question is not whether we will encounter problems, right? The real question is how we choose to address them. When it comes to solving the problems of everyday living, we often know precisely what needs to be done, but we may be slow in doing it, especially what needs to be done is difficult or uncomfortable for us. So we put it off till tomorrow, which should be done today. The words of Psalm 34 remind us that the Lord solves problems for people who do what is right, NIV version. And usually doing what is right means doing the uncomfortable work of controlling, our problems sooner rather than later. So with no further ado, let the problem solving begin. Verses that back up this chapter, we have Psalm 31:24. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all ye that hope in the Lord. Other verses are Psalm 34:19. You have James 1:3-4. Then you have Matthew 11:28-30. And then Isaiah 43:2-3. Side note in the chapter, do something today. Perhaps your troubles are simply too big to solve in a single sitting. Just because you can't solve everything doesn't mean that you should do nothing. So today, as a favor to yourself and as a way of breaking the bonds of procrastination, do something to make your situation better. Even a small step in the right direction is still a step in the right direction. And a small step is far, far better than no step at all. A tip for tough times, problem solving 101. When it comes to solving problems, work beats worry. Remember, it is better to fix than to fret. So some questions to consider as we conclude the chapter. When I encounter difficulties, do I understand the importance of looking for solutions? Have I formed the habit of tackling problems sooner rather than later? When I encounter difficulties, do I work to solve the problems instead of worrying about them, or do I often worry more than I work? It's a pretty good chapter in considering. And then in conclusion is a prayer. Dear Lord, sometimes my problems are simply too big for me, but they are never too big for you. Let me turn my troubles over to you, Lord, and let me trust in you today and for all eternity. Amen. I read once in a book by Mel Robbins how she had the 1-2-3 rule. And it can be something as simple as not hitting the snooze button in the mornings. You lay in bed and you hit the snooze, you hit the snooze, you hit the snooze. And she says stop. One of the things to do is to count to 3. You have an alarm that goes off, you lay there, do I hit snooze or do I get up? She goes, what you should do is just count 1, 2, 3, go. You find something that you want to procrastinate on or you don't want to do, count to 3. Take a deep breath, go 1, 2, 3, and tackle it. So the more you start doing that, even in your simple daily lives like the alarm clock, the easier it's going to get to start tackling your problems on a daily basis, and the easier life will get. Now, when it comes to divorce, of course, it's not that easy, right? But when you take your deep breaths and it's just say 1, 2, 3, okay, move on to something else. Divorce is not easy, obviously, and it can take months, it can take years, it can take until your kids are at least 18, and then you don't have to see the parent anymore, unless, of course, they get married or something. But it's not easy, but He will help you tackle it, even through the small things, I promise you. Enjoy your day, stay warm, and make it matter.